Here we go, guys. Welcome to the first ever RS Studio roll. Biker Scout commissions, finishing and shipping. I'll do the shipping, Paul, don't worry. It's alright. It's alright being down here. Couple of Stormtrooper commissions. Christopher Bunn work in progresses. Snow troopers. And a lot of helmets. Are you mic'd up? Connor! Just put that in that box there with nothing on it. Connor? Will you bring me a couple of them green TK faces and backs? 2 of each. You know I'm Paula. Parker?
Yes.
When we finish filming, will you feed me some grapes again?
Yeah.
Right, all I need now is, Steve-O, can you get me a couple of brow trims from somewhere? Cheers, buddy. That's a beauty.
So is the process different with these helmets than...
Like an ABS helmet?
Yeah.
This stuff is completely different than working with ABS. It's just, look how flexible it is.
Is it easier or harder?
It's a difficult one, really, because I'm used to both.
Right. Do you prefer working with one over the other?
I do love building these.
Is that a nostalgia thing?
Now you can. They're a completely different beast. Until you built one, it's difficult to understand, but they're much more flexible and you can manipulate them in different ways. I think with the ABS one you've got to be, well, I don't think you've got as much choice. You've just got to build it because it's the way it is, whereas the different characters from the helmets really comes from the way it's put together. And there's a lot more possible with the HDPE or polypropylene, whatever you're going to call them. I'm used to calling them HDPE now because they were mislabeled for so long, and that's just what people know them as.
So how was it rightly identified as polypropylene?
Because we started trying to buy some, asking plastic suppliers, and you couldn't buy the HDPE in this colour. It would have been very unusual for the HDPE to have been made in this colour. I mean, it's a very similar product. There's not a lot in it. Disabled access. Disabled access. Oh yeah. Look at me, I've don't need to move for me. So Pete, I've just ordered earlier on, I found somewhere for the cowl material.
Alright, yeah.
So I've ordered a roll, it should be here tomorrow or the day after.
Do a flip.
Do your little wheelie again.
I just did it. Right, I need a couple more greens and we can go again. Steve, will you bring me a couple of the pieces of the green helmets from over there when you come past? Save me on my tyre rubber.
You're selfish with those grapes, aren't you?
Would you like some?
No, sir.
You probably don't even eat grapes.
I like to be offered, no, I like to be fed grapes.
You probably think they're for poor people or something.
No, the Romans ate grapes. I only eat peeled grapes. And then squashed and fermented and served to me in a bottle.
We're up in the ante here.
So talk to me about your leg rub.
I'm just riding, minding my own business. So I'm just coming through this road with traffic calming measures on it, bumps and stuff. Got a green light, going through the lights. Someone's wanting to turn right. As I'm approaching and moving, it's either moving very slowly or it's stopped, stationary and then sets off. Or we'll say because we drive on the correct side of the road, if you're turning right, then you're crossing the oncoming traffic. So hence how this situation's happened. So I've got the green light. I'm coming through the junction as I should be doing. Aware of what's going on. There's a car over here waiting to turn, and then he just starts turning. So I'm heading for a gap that's closing, but before I can get there, he's T-boned me from the right hand side, actually making impact with my leg. It absolutely nailed me good and proper. So I've been thrown off the bike, ended up 10-15 feet away from it. I think I've gone over the car because I heard the police talking about the windscreen being broken, which I presume was from me hitting it. So I must have gone over the car. It really is like when you see that GoPro footage and it's just camera rolling, bouncing around. Yes! Paul, I love you. Paul, I missed you.
So how's it affected your helmet building skills?
Not affected the skills, it's affected the amount of time that I've been able to put into everything over the last 2 weeks. Usually I would have been putting in about 50 hours a week, and then last week that was down to only a few hours of getting in, and that wasn't very productive, but needed to make sure everybody was alright. Got an awful lot to do. Already behind. This is always building props is always about time. It's always how much time you've got to put into them, because they take that's the key to it. It's the amount of time they take to make. All hand build, hand created, and finished. So yeah, it's put us behind. Put us behind on everything that was ready regarding shipping, which we've solved today. It's put us behind on where I really wanted to be with a whole load of commissions and stuff. But it's not the end of the world. So unless a clock comes in and I have a stroke and die or something, we should be alright. But you never know. Always say you never know. Paul's mum's probably trying to ring me.
So any plans to get back on a bike?
No comment.
Why no comment? You were dead against it last week.
You can't. It's like letting terrorism win, innit? You can't let it win. But if I thought my foot was going to hurt as much as it did 2 weeks ago, then I'd definitely think twice. If someone had been there and said, like, I can cut that off with a lightsaber and you won't even feel it, I'd be like, get it off, because man, it hurt. That's it. Scooped me off the road, took me to the hospital, and I've got broken heel. If Clark is any good, he can probably find a diagram online and we can put some arrows to where my injury is. So the actual injury is a broken heel on this side, where the car's basically forced the heel into the motorbike. The motorbike came off better because it's stronger than my heel, which you may find hard to believe. But at the moment the doctors are concerned about the how they described the massive crush injury to the other side of my foot, all the soft tissue and ligaments and stuff. But they're unsure of how long it's going to take to heal, how it's going to heal. I'm going to end up with like a club foot. So my dancing days could be over. I've still got the moves. The rest of me still got the moves. So I've had a week in bed, and I did think to myself, they said, right, go home, keep it elevated and rest and that. And I did think to myself, rest? I've got helmets to build, mate. Didn't say it, just thought it. Got helmets to build. Oh man. As much as I wanted to, there's absolutely no way I could get in. It was absolutely insane. When I put my foot down, pain was insane. Worse than when Paul's mum does a pile driver on me. It's proper painful. So I really did have to follow doctor's orders. Dragged myself in dinner last week just to show you I was still alive. Aside from the blood clot risk, not going anywhere. Load of shipping's just left. You were going to film it, weren't you? But then you forgot. Then it had gone. The shipping was all done. A massive rake of shipping from that's built up over the last week. All collected today. We forgot to get a shot of it leaving. But other than that, it's just full steam ahead. The rest of the boys have been on with the commissions at the building and other helmets. It's annoying really because we were doing really well. We've got a load of stuff to just needs a little tweak, a little bit of finishing. Then this happens. These are very nice to build. Okay guys, bit of a studio update for you. That's it for this time. I'll see you next time. That's all I've got. Paul, I think I'm ready for some painkillers. Oh.